If you're a fan of Invincible, you've definitely heard of Oliver Grayson, also known as Kid Omni-Man, half-Viltrumite and half-Thraxan. He has a story full of twists, rapid growth, and an uncertain future. In today's video, we're going to reveal 10 incredible facts about Mark Grayson's younger brother. Warning, there will be spoilers. That said, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and join us. Hey everyone, I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel. We're a new channel, but with your support, we can grow even bigger. Our goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and your subscription can help us get there faster. So I'm counting on you. Together, we're stronger. Now, let's get into the video. When Nolan Grayson, Omni-Man, left Earth after his fight with Mark, he didn't return to the Viltrumite Empire. Instead, he traveled to another planet called Thraxan. There, Nolan discovered that the inhabitants of this planet have a lifespan of only 9 months. Normally, they choose the oldest person to be their ruler, and since Nolan is thousands of years old, he was quickly selected to govern them. Before long, he became known as a hero and a good man. Nolan ruled for several generations and eventually married a Thraxan woman named Andressa. Shortly after, they had a son named Oliver, the first Viltrumite/Thraxan hybrid. Oliver was born with purple skin because the Thraxan species is not as genetically compatible with Viltrumites as humans are. However, this genetic mix caused Oliver to age rapidly, just like the Thraxans. But since Viltrumites live for thousands of years, this wouldn't be a problem for him. Upon returning to Earth, Mark introduces Oliver to his mother, Debbie, explaining that he is his brother, the son of Nolan. Mark asks his mother for help in raising the boy, and although she struggles with the situation at first, she eventually agrees. Over time, Debbie becomes emotionally attached to Oliver, raising him as if he were her own son. Concerned about having another Viltrumite living on Earth, Cecil Stedman decides to keep a close watch on the boy. He takes responsibility for covering Oliver's expenses and education, even assigning a tutor named April Howsam to oversee his learning. Due to his accelerated growth, Oliver reaches the equivalent of an 8-year-old child in less than a month. It doesn't take long for Oliver to awaken his powers, so Mark takes him to Art's shop, the tailor for superheroes, to finally get his own suit. Oliver chooses the name Kid Omni-Man, as a tribute to his father, which surprises Mark. For his first mission, Invincible and Kid Omni-Man attempt to stop a prison break. However, Oliver doesn't follow Mark's orders and ends up being attacked by the escaping villains. Mark steps in to handle the situation, and after ensuring that Kid Omni-Man is okay, he scolds him, telling him that if he wants to be trained as a superhero, he must learn to follow orders. When they get home, Oliver is excited to see that his fight was featured on television. The reason Oliver chose the name Kid Omni-Man was because he wanted to honor his father. He adored him. Due to his mother's genetics, Oliver was able to remember events from when he was just a baby. Because of this, he vividly recalled his time on Thraxan, where he saw Nolan as a noble leader, a hero to his people, and a loving father and husband. This gave him a very different perspective on his father compared to Mark. Since Nolan was absent for most of Oliver's life, the only memories he had were positive ones, making it easy for him to idolize his father. However, Oliver kept hearing Mark talk about the horrible things their father had done on Earth. As these stories didn't match the warm memories Oliver had of Nolan, he began to feel a deep internal conflict. Later, the Mauler twins attack a nuclear power plant and defeat the Guardians of the Globe. Mark immediately rushes to the scene but underestimates the Maulers' new weapons and is quickly taken down as soon as he arrives at the facility. With Mark out of the fight, Oliver is left without his brother's guidance and, unaware of his true power level, brutally defeats the Mauler twins. When he realizes that the Immortal saw everything, he panics and shouts that it was an accident. Mark then takes Oliver aside and scolds him, telling him that heroes don't kill. However, Oliver responds by saying, "Villains kill people. I kill villains. That way, they can't kill anyone else." This marks the first major conflict between the two brothers. As the story progresses, we see that Oliver has grown even more, now a teenager, wearing a new suit and adopting a new codename, Young Omni-Man. As he ages, his skin becomes less purple since his Viltrumite genes are becoming more dominant. When the war finally breaks out, Oliver's role in the battle is very limited. This is because he chooses to confront Thrag, the Grand Regent of the Viltrumite Empire, directly. In an instant, Thrag shatters Oliver's jaw and rips off his arm with a single blow, leaving him on the brink of death. Later, we see him inside a regeneration tank, while Nolan and Mark discuss that he will need to stay there for a few weeks to recover. One of the biggest conflicts between the brothers happens when Oliver decides to help the Coalition with a plan to eliminate all the Viltrumites on Earth using the Scourge virus. However, this plan would also wipe out all humans. Mark is strongly against the idea, leading to a fight between the two. In the chaos, the virus is accidentally released directly into Mark's face. As a result, Invincible falls into a coma. Although he survives, he loses his powers in the process. However, this is only temporary, and Mark eventually regains his abilities. When Mark finally wakes up and leaves the hospital, Oliver tearfully apologizes, hugging his brother and admitting that he deeply regrets almost being responsible for the death of one of the people he loves most. When Robot begins his global takeover on Earth and Invincible is unable to stop him, Mark and Eve decide to leave the planet, choosing to live with the Coalition of Planets. There, they are greeted by Oliver, who has undergone another rapid aging phase, now appearing closer to Mark's age. He tells Mark that now that he has reached adulthood, his aging has slowed down, meaning they will likely stay the same age for a long time. Later, Mark and Eve invite Oliver to dinner, and he brings along his girlfriend, shocking everyone because she is an insectoid alien. Oliver confesses to Mark that he has never felt attracted to humans because his Thraxan DNA from his mother makes him sexually attracted only to insect-like aliens. Not long after, Oliver becomes a father. Oliver and Mark begin working together as spies and scouts for the Coalition of Planets. Mark wears a blue suit, while Oliver wears a red one. The two go on several missions together, but during one of them, they become separated. Mark encounters a strange creature that unexpectedly transports him to another dimension. Meanwhile, Oliver continues working as a scout on his own. Over the course of 5 years, Oliver undergoes another rapid aging phase, now appearing as a fully matured Viltrumite, even sporting a mustache. During this time, under Alan's orders, Oliver works as a double agent, pretending to be an ally of Thrag. However, when Thrag decides to kill Mark and his family, Oliver abandons his cover and attacks the Viltrumite Grand Regent. While trying to protect his niece, Tara, Oliver is brutally attacked by Thrag and killed right in front of the child. Later, his funeral is held, attended by hundreds of people who knew him as one of the greatest heroes of the Coalition of Planets. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. I'm counting on you. See you next time.